what we seem to have here is a dad issue of angry dads? What in the... All right, friends. So what I am doing is I am watching The Terminal List, Dark Wolf. And this will be a partial review, partial just reaction to things that are going on. And it's kind of funny to me that Amazon throws a lot of stuff against the wall. And what they're seeing the most success with is a new genre that I am seeing. It kind of harkens back to the 90s. We're just going to call it dad prawns. And I don't know why they're coming up with this. I'm not 100% sure, as in procreation is foreign to me, but it appears that there is a certain genre that appeals to fatherly figures, and some people aren't happy about it. They're like, what's going on here? But it's kind of amusing. So what I'm seeing is you see the success of Reacher and Terminal List, and now it appears on Amazon's charts that Dark Wolf is #1, and it came out with literally zero fanfare at the end of the summer over the Memorial Day weekend, where no one cares about anything. Everybody's away, and it is dominating the charts once again, just like Terminal List did. And Terminal List is kind of interesting. I liked it. It stars Chris Pratt as a operator, just along the same lines as Reacher, sort of like this military show, where I would say Reacher's a little more tongue-in-cheek. Terminal List is very much more serious and a bit of a mystery. What's interesting is that Dark Wolf is a prequel, and I kind of hate prequels because if you've watched Terminal List, I already know where the story is going. I have no interest in it. I don't care how the characters necessarily got to where they're going. So I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm making my way through the rest of them. And while the first episode was very much a military episode, and is very interesting to me that Chris Pratt stars in it, or co-stars, and when Chris Pratt shows up, there's like 5 or 6 military dudes that all look vaguely similar, and I can't tell the difference between any of these white dudes. They're all exactly the same to me. They're all like these bearded, scruffy. The only one I can tell the difference between is Taylor Kirsch. Is he the star of this? I believe he is. I think that's his name. He's the guy, if you don't remember, it's Taylor Kitsch, who was a gummy bear when he was part of John Carter. They were trying to make him an A-list star, and he starred in the largest box office bomb until Marvel came around, which was John Carter of Mars, and he was a bouncing gummy bear on Mars. He would just bounce here and there and everywhere. But he is a good actor. He is, in fact, a good actor. And I really enjoyed him in The Terminal List. What I find interesting is that Dark Wolf is recontextualizing everything I saw in The Terminal List so far. And that's what a good prequel could do, and that's what some decent writing could do. Now, the first episode was a little slow and a little tiresome, and maybe put me to sleep a little bit because I was like, I can't, whatever, don't care about any of these characters. But then episode 2 came around, and it definitely changed my opinion. What's interesting, though, is the reactions online to this, which let's just take a look at. I think you're going to find this interesting. The Terminal List prequel, Dark Wolf, is all macho posturing and American aggression. So this review must have come from someone who didn't watch The Terminal List. Because, okay, there is a fascinating part So let me give you a plot breakdown really briefly. This show takes place before the Terminal List, and I won't give away what happens in there, but essentially what you have is a group of SEALs, Navy SEALs, who train a bunch of Iraqi troops, I'm assuming, or Afghani troops. Let's go with Afghani troops. Unclear. And what they're doing, they're training them to do these operations, but at the same time, they also do operations. Okay. And they end up where there's an incident with a CIA asset that they should not have gotten involved with, but nobody really told them, or there's like a personal grudge there. Okay, fair enough. And what you find out is Taylor Kitsch's character is in the same platoon as Chris Pratt, and they all kind of get dishonored together as a group. And if you know anything about SEALs, they sit around, they eat, and lift. That's what I've heard what SEALs do. But in reality, they're training these guys and whatever. And there's this brotherhood. Brother. Hey, brother. I'll take care of you, brother. But anyway, the second episode gets interesting because what it does is once they get disgraced, they get turned into assets for either Mossad or the CIA, and they start doing independent operations that don't have the same guidelines that the U.S. does. And Taylor Kitsch seems to gravitate towards this, which makes a lot more sense in the Terminal List. And I found that to be, well, this might actually be an interesting take on this. But the reviewers are telling us when the Terminal List prequel, Dark Wolf, stops grimly grumbling about how bureaucrats in the deep state is applied. It keeps men like us from saving the effing free world. It can occasionally be a half-decent action show. As the lead, Taylor Kitsch is certainly better suited to the part of tortured warrior than the eternally bland Chris Pratt. And I just want to point this out. These are the same people who always have an issue with Chris Pratt. They hated him in Mario. They only liked him when he was the fat, gullible loser in that Office spinoff, Parks and Recreation. What they don't get and what they don't like about him is as soon as he became a leading man in Guardians of the Galaxy, they got jealous because he has the Tim Tebow effect of caring about some sort of religion stuff. So all the mainstream reviewers hate him now. He is an absolute target. People despise him. And what I think is really interesting about this is he could absolutely steal the show in Guardians of the Galaxy. And then in this show, I cannot tell him from any other SEAL that is there. He's just another bearded dude who's barking out orders, and he just disappears into the crowd. Which, for this role, is kind of a good thing. It's kind of part of the role is that they are undiscernible from each other. And I'm just saying that. As a reviewer, I think that him being able to slide into a backing role, especially if Taylor Kitsch is going to be the star of this, makes a lot of sense. They're like, Pratt continues to look like he's concentrating very, very hard on not seeming like the type of guy who would lead the voice cast of the Garfield movie. Seriously? Shut up, lady. This is also a woman. This is as if I was okay, so this is what we're calling dad prawn now, because clearly, and Allison, whatever your name, Herman, A Wrinkle of Time was not made for me. Ally McBeal was not made for me. And I can appreciate that Ally McBeal is not made for me and that people might like it and I might not like it, but it's okay. It's a cultural touchstone that people still go look back on. This is so far, it was a little bit boring, and then it intrigued me, and now I'm watching it, and I'm going to try to review the rest of it. But you guys hate it and want to take it down, so I am disturbed by that. You just say, look, this is not a show for me. Or, as I'm saying, this show's been mildly interesting, and it caught my attention. As after the first episode, I would have told you, military drama, not for me. But once it went to this, like, James Bond stuff, I was like, maybe this is for me. I'm kind of interested. So what did you guys think? Did you guys check this out? Are you into it? Are you going to join the Dad Pron army? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because this is a little controversial, and it's just funny that the reviewers are just like, this is variety and industry shill, and it's going to get great ratings, and it's going to, I don't know how much money it costs to make, but it's also filmed really great. Everything about it so far is pretty darn good, including the performances. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I onto something with this whole new Dad Pron trend? Because Reacher clearly kills it. First season of Terminal List clearly killed it. This prequel, which normally wouldn't be successful, but since it's fairly okayly written so far, is mildly interesting because it includes Mossad, which, you know, people are not happy about right now. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate it. Catch our excellent podcast. We do reviews, movie reviews, comedy, all that great stuff and more. It's all good times. Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join us. Catch it whenever you want to. It's also listenable on iTunes, all those places and more. And we do reviews, 10-second reviews of everything, like every episode of Dexter so far. We're doing Dark Wolf. What else are we working on? Wednesday. All things you may or may not have watched, but you're going to like. I promise you, it'll give you a yuck. So please subscribe. It means a lot to us. But we love all y'all. But I'm on to the next one.
Check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.